Hi, my name is Owen Miller, and I am here with.
Hello. Do I say my name now?
Sure.
My name is Wally Hendel. Waltraud is my real name. But my husband was responsible for Wally because he couldn't express Waltraud very much. So Wally stuck. So this is a wonderful art show, and it's the first time that I really am, that I knew about it. I never read the the magazine where the dates were, and so I have been an artist where even since childhood, because when I was in school and we had these very smooth tables, black, and I had a piece of eraser, and then I would always draw faces on that black table. Other people did too, other girls too. So, my parents didn't have the money. They were poor in those days. That was after the First World War. It was a poor country. The work was almost non-existent for men, and so they had apprenticeships. And when you had certain talent, then you went and they tested you for your talent. Different things you had to do. And when you passed, then you became an apprentice. And that's how I got my art training. And it was in a like Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer movie company. And so we had 5 people the first year. And the second year there were another 5 people, and the third year also 5 people. And then the war was over anyway. They closed up everything. So we had a wonderful teacher. One teacher, he was an expert in every kind of art, and he taught us. So we had good training. That was good for all the rest of our work. And I worked in many places. I worked in Germany, but I was very young yet, and I went to, no, it was right after the war, and they had these well, where the soldiers hung out,
Mm-hmm.
What did you call that?
Barracks or?
No, not barracks. It's what clubs. It's an American club. I asked if I could practice profile in 10 minutes, And when I had it very good, I went and asked if they would have a job. I could do profiles in 10 minutes. And the lady, the leader of the club, she looked at her watch, and then she let her girlfriend sit in the chair, and she said, "Okay, you draw her now." And she timed me. I guess I did it even faster than 10 minutes, and she said, "You can start right away." So it was wonderful, and then that's where I met my husband. That was also, I wrote a book about it that was funny, very funny. One soldier said there, if they don't hold still, he said, you just tell them to shut up. And of course, I didn't hardly speak any English, hardly spoke English. And my husband came this one day in the afternoon when no soldier came. They came at 6 o'clock in the evening. And he sat down at my table, and he said he would like to have his front adorned. And okay, I said, go ahead, sit down. And he started to talk and move his head. And I remembered what that soldier said, tell them to shut up. And I said, in broken English, would you please shut up? And he laughed so hard. And he was of German. Both of his parents were German. So he spoke 2 different German dialects and English accent. That's how we communicated. Anyway, and I came as a German war bride, came over here. And after a couple years, I thought I really would like to work my work, do something. And I always looked at the newspaper and saw these fashion drawings. And I thought, I'm going to go to Horns and ask if they could use me as a fashion artist. Of course, I didn't know anything about fashions. And I went and said I would like to talk to the art director. And he was very nice, and he talked with me. I had made a few sketches of just a writing paper, a couple sketches. And he said, yes, you have a flair, he said, but you need a lot of practice yet. So why don't you go home and have a girlfriend of yours and put on some nice clothes, and you draw her and you bring back the work. So I did that. He said, well, that's a lot better. But he said, if you see our work, the way we draw fashions, why don't you just copy some of these fashions, but freehand? Don't go over with paper and just freehand. And I did, and he engaged me. I was a fashion artist. So it was hard work because there's a certain style you have to have when you do fashions. But in time, I became the children's artist and the men's artist. Those two things I could do very well. That's why you see men's art, some of them. And this was our model. We had a model, and she had to put on the ladies' clothes, and then people could see how the dresses would fold and fall and everything. And so this one evening we were all done working, and she said, why don't we go and why don't you draw me, and I put on something fancy, and then you have a nice painting. And so that was a painting I got out of it. That was nice. And this was done in Germany. My husband and I, we went to Germany because he loved the landscape. He loved Germany. And so he had worked 20 years in the mill. And that was a shift work, And he never got enough sleep. And so he was very anxious to really get out of it. And my mother, she went... I don't want to take too long. Anyway, she treated me to a trip to Germany, and my husband said, take a lot of photos I want you to take. And he just gave me so much material with a camera and with everything. And I just took photos here and there, everywhere. And then he said, let's sell our house and we go to Germany. We did, and we got little jobs there, like this one. This one was done in Germany, at an agency, art agency. So, and then in the meantime, I had quit that job, and we went to Germany. And then after 1 year, I was so homesick for America. And you know what I missed the most? The Billy Graham program.
Billy Graham.
Yeah. I missed the Billy Graham program. And my husband, he was also a little bit homesick. And so after 1 year, we moved back. And I got my job back again. So what else do we have? See, that's children. And we have also a lady here who was a buyer in the children's department. They had several buyers, according to what age the children were. And then when we did the art, we had to somebody took the art to the buyer, and she had to sign it if it was okay. If she found fault, then she told somebody, and we had to change it. But I never had to do See, these are all children's art. And here, these are. Oh, am I doing something wrong?
No. I think
This is from Germany. We thought we were going back to Germany, which we did. And I like to do cards, funny cards. And this one was a man who was a pastor. The pastor used to be pastor here. He was in the hospital, worked in the hospital, and this man was in a wheelchair. And he was so helpful to other people when they had to have something done with the government. And he always went there and made a big fuss. And so I made that verse.
wow.
And it was a big, well, they loved him. I loved to do these cards. It was so much fun. Anything that was fun, I enjoyed doing. And these are Christmas cards. These were Christmas cards that I enjoyed that. I'm a Christian, and to me that's very important. That's what Christmas is all about, you know. And what else do I have?
Oh, that's perfect.
Is that
I think that was perfect. Thank you so much for your time today.
well? Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you so very much.
thank you.
Just, endlessly amazing and beautiful. You create almost like our creator. It's like Christ.
Right.
It's reminiscent of that, you know?
You know what we had. Every artist had a big filing cabinet, and all these drawers were filled with photos. If you did a lot of men's art, you had all men. Whenever you saw a good picture in the magazine, you cut it out, you know. If we had the faces, you always needed to had somebody's to go by, you know. You had to have a good face. And that's what I did. These were some young. That's my husband, by the way.
He looks like
You know-
Clark Gable. He looks like him.
When I was 11 years old in Germany, I saw all these American movies in Berlin. And I always said when I was 11 and 12, when I get older, I'm going to go to America and marry Clark Gable. And there too, see?
Fantastic.
Yeah, beautiful legend that is.
Amazing. So nice.
Yeah, wonderful. Look at that. He did that all by himself. Nobody was photographing him. He just set it up and photographed himself.
The quality of light is very nice.
Yeah.
Very tasteful, black and white.
It's nice. And these are my gala pictures. Because we always did gala for this whole orchestra of gala. So art is really very enjoyable. You know, and then when it comes out nice, you're very happy. Yeah.
Wally, thank you so much. It was a delight to talk to you today.
And it was nice talking with you.
Okay. Well, take care.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.